All right, so I want to also welcome us to this section, just to bring everyone to the same page. Last time we started looking at some single criteria exploratory functions in Excel, which are also referred to as conditional exploratory functions. The reason why they are referred to as conditional exploratory functions is because these are functions we use in deriving meaningful insights from our data that require single condition or criteria. We look at Sumif, and then I believe we also apply COUNTIF. And then finally, we close that class with AVERAGEIF. And I show us different scenarios of applying this set of Excel intermediate exploratory functions, how we can use them to answer meaningful analysis question in a given data set. So the first one we did, this was where we applied the SUMIF, which helps us to summarize total profit based on the categorical values under item type. The one of counting is like the last part of my analysis dashboard was not saved because I know we did for counting, we did for average, which I added to the same table. Unfortunately, opening it this evening, I couldn't find the analysis I did under count, the one I also did under average if. However, we have them in the video, and that is what you guys have also replicated. I'm talking about the assignment I've assessed so far. I know I also showed us some other ways, which I refer to as Excel reference method, or a method that can allow us to analyze on a part or different variable or unique value using an input that goes into a cell. So we did all that. Now this evening, let me check. Let's see if somebody. Okay, so let me assume that all is well and you guys are also hearing me clearly. But I will need to confirm. Somebody should use the message section if you can. If my audio is okay, please let me confirm that before I proceed. Somebody should kindly use the message section just to respond. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Mrs. Augustina, I think we do just that. Seeing your request. So in this section, we are actually looking at advanced conditional functions. Advanced conditional function. Now, if you remember, we started from the general statistical functions, which are also descriptive data analysis techniques in Excel. Under the general, that is where we looked at sum without the if, we look at counts without the if, we look at average without the if. So if you remember the kind of analysis we are doing there, we're just either summing up all the values in a column or all the values in a row without any defined criteria. That is why those ones are referred to basic descriptive analysis techniques or method in Excel. Then after that, we advance to the one with the if, that is sum if, count if, average if. That is where we started the journey of the conditional functions. In other words, from that sum if till the average if, they falls under the intermediate descriptive analysis functions, which also can be referred to as the intermediate, which can also be referred to as the intermediate conditional functions in Excel, particularly for performing exploratory analysis. Now, if you observe what we have done so far, all the questions we answered with each of these functions, they are just one criteria question. So let me just go to Excel and prove to us what I just said now. The question we answered here was, what is the total profit generated from baby food as one of the products in this Amazon sales data? So you can see that you only answer one criteria analysis question. And what is the criteria there? What is the total profit generated from baby food item? So the criteria is the what? Baby food item. Just one. So which means that you simply summarize all the values you have in total profits based on the selected item type. Based on the selected item type. That is one condition. Now, there is something I want to also explain here. Now, at this point, we need to understand what is called independent variable and dependent variable. Now that we are going advanced. Now, if you look at your question, the way your question sounds will always help you to identify the independent variable and the dependent variable. Looking at the term, the meaning of the word independent, it means that it does not depend on another variable. Also looking at the word dependent variable, it means that it depends on another variable. In that question that you answer there with any of those single statistical function, you will see that all the values here, they will add up based on the selected item. All the values here were added based on the selected item, which suggests to me that the addition of any value here depends on the selected word or selection of any value here. So which means that this depend on this, but this does not depend on this. So this become the dependent, while this become the independent. I believe that is clear as regards to the difference between dependent and independent variable. Now, the functions we are focusing on tonight will take us beyond one criteria analysis. We can go on until we feel that, okay, we can no longer get any meaningful results. And they are called advanced conditional function. So let's just quickly dive into that. So you can see the reason why I said, or why I insisted that every one of us that attended that Sunday class should take time to practice, because most of or all the command, the functions we are looking at in this session, they are an extension of the previous one. So what is added here now is just S. If you check what is here, is just S. The same set of exploratory functions that we considered last time, but the difference is that the addition of what? S. Now, there is a reason why the S is added. The S is added in order to differentiate single criteria analysis statistical functions in a cell from multiple criteria statistical what? Analysis functions in that same cell. So now, if you read through, let's start with the Sumif. The Sumif function in a cell adds up values based on, this is the difference now, based on the multiple conditions or criteria. It allows an extension of Sumif. Sorry, it is an extension of Sumif, which only allow one condition. That's the difference. Now, if you are answering analysis question, it is the nature or the way the question is constructed that will actually suggest whether you are to apply Sumif or you are to apply Sumifs. So it is a question that will spell it out for you. So as an expertise you are expected to acquire under this data analytics program, like I said before, is your ability to draft analysis questions. Is very important. Is part of the skill set. You shouldn't be the type that someone will, or maybe another set of analysts will have to, draft questions for you. So what I'm going to do before the end of this section, I think I'm going to show us how you can actually draft questions using AI. Because in practice, that is what is applicable. Most time, why I decided not to expose us to that before now, because if I do that, some of us will not know the secret or the logic on how to look at data sets and be able to envisage the possible questions you might be asked to answer as a data analyst. That is the reason why I have taken us through manual. So now, if I'm going to take us to the AI application, it means that you have already known the methodologist, how you can actually draft question from data. Like I said, is a skill set that you must strive to acquire. Okay, now looking at this, let's start by studying the syntax before we go and relate it in answering valid analysis questions. Now, the reason why I always focus on the syntax, as a programmer, I understand that the reason why so many people always find difficult to understand programming, or why they always say programming is hard, is because they don't know the principle. Once you understand the principle of programming, you will find out that programming is one of the easiest domain to be. Now, because what we call syntax here is simply mean a set of rules that govern the way the language should be, or the way the language is spoken, or the way the language operates. So in a simple layman term, syntax means formats. So why I prompted us this is for me to explain, because if I don't take my time to explain this syntax, most of the things I'm going to do will look like, I'm performing magic. So I want to pay good attention as I explain the syntax. Now, the Sumifs is the function that requires two or more, or let's say multiple criteria, which can as well be used in the place of Sumif. So bear that in mind. If by tomorrow or if after this particular class, you don't want to use those first one, the one without S, you can answer any of those questions you answer with those one, write in or with any of these multiple criteria, but you cannot answer the questions that goes beyond what criteria with those one. So the only thing I'm going to do is that I will limit my application of any of these multiple criteria function to one function, which means that I am directly using them in the place of the single criteria function. So let's just continue with the explanation. So I've explained this. Now, anytime you are working with function, always know that there is a section called the function input, the function parameter, or the function argument. These three terms that I just used now mean the same thing. It depends on which one of them you decide to use at your own level now. They mean the same thing. Now, but when we get to Python, I will show us little differences between them. But actually, they can be used interchangeably. Now, when we say parameter, we are talking about the data that need to be given to the function to function. So at this point here, you activated a function called Sumifs, and you open this parenthesis bracket, which means that everything inside the parenthesis bracket are expected to be the function what? Input or the parameter, which are the set of data that need to be given to the function before the function can output the expected results. Now, it is now left for you to interpret the function language. When the function says, I need sum underscore range, it is your duty as an expert to interpret, okay, what type of data is this sum range? It is also your duty to know what the function meant by what? Criteria underscore range 1, and what it meant by what? Criteria 1. And then, like I told us before, anything in the square bracket in the function parenthesis bracket is optional. That is, you can do away with it. Now, if you check very well, criteria range 2 is captured as optional. Criteria 2 is also captured as optional. And then I will prove it to us why they are optional. Now, I told you before that you can use this set of functions to answer single criteria analysis question. That is, if I want to use this function in the place of Sumif, the one without S, then this is only what is compulsory. Now, it means that you going more than one criteria is optional. That is what it's trying to say now. But you must have at least one criteria. That is why you have this parameter outside the square bracket. Now, take note of the syntax. After you have supplied the first parameter, you have to put a comma. After the second one, you have to also put a comma. Now, but there is a condition that is unique as far as this is concerned. This sum range, let me break it down. The sum range you are seeing here, this particular sum range, it must be a number. It must be a number. It must be a number argument. For example, now, if I am asking question like summarize total profit based on the item type equals to a particular country, that is two criteria. So which means that Excel will not add any value under the total profit except the value correspond with the country mentioned and also correspond with the item type mentioned. Are you with me? So I believe you understand that logic now. Now, if you look at the question, write down the question again. The question is summarize the total profits based on the item type equals to, you choose one of the country there because I'm coming to that. I don't want to switch from the slide so that we can gain certain focus. Now, out of these three arguments that are mentioned, total profits was mentioned, item type was also mentioned, and then the country. Now, let's go into programming and understand what we call data type. In programming, which we are going to explain better when we get to Python as a programming language. In programming, we have what we call primitive data type, which are also known as primary data type. These are compulsory data that every programmer must work with. Now, under the primitive data type, we have numbers data type. Under number, you now have two. One is integer, the other one is float. Integer, it is when a number is whole number, the absence of decimal unit or decimal point. It is called what? Integer. Then the presence of decimal point, it is called float or double number. Because if I have 60, if I have 60 like this, 60.5, why it is called float? That is what? Overflow, that is excess. And why it is called double, which means that I can have 0.5 as a different value. I can also have 60 as a different value. So it becomes double, 1 and 2. That is why they are called what? Double. Now, the point I'm making is that whatever argument you are bringing here, or the parameter you are bringing here, it must be argument with numbers. So which means if I'm to look at that question, the only value I'm going to supply here is the total profit, because out of total profit, country and item type, that is the only place where I have number. Item type, they are string. Country, they are also strings. String means text in programming generally. Okay? So now I've explained what you are expected to supply here. Remember that whatever you are bringing in here must be number. Must be number. Now, where you have criteria range 1, that is what? The column where the criteria 1 will be referenced from. That is what? The column where criteria 1 value is computed. That is criteria range 1. Then the criteria 1 is the criteria itself, which should be a value that can be traced towards to the argument under your criteria 1. Then you put a comma. Once you add a comma, it will now change to criteria range 2. Then you now see criteria 2. That is just what you have here now. Then once you have done supplying this, you put a comma, you will now see criteria range 3, then criteria 3. Then after that, put a comma again, criteria range 4, criteria 4. So that is how it continues until you get to the last condition. So there's no limit. So I believe that is clear. So if this explanation is clear to us, let me get a response from you before I proceed to the full application with our data. Please, someone, or you can kindly unmute and speak out. I want to be sure if all my explanations are clear before I proceed to applying it in a data set.
Please, sorry, the network threw me out.
Okay. Yes.
For some time.
Sorry, I have to attend to something. Okay, so I think somebody was saying something. Somebody was saying something. Sorry.
Please, I don't know if you can go through the argument again.
Okay, the explanation of the argument.
Yes. Network, I was trying to log in again for some time, for some minutes. So I did start from the beginning.
Okay, so let's pay attention. So I was actually trying to break down the argument so I will know the responsibility of each of them before the application. Now I said the sum range represents the number arguments. Now let's focus on this question. And the question says, summarize the total profits based on the product type or the item type where it is equals to a particular country. So this is the data we are talking about now. That is, you are asked to add the values here equals to an item, let's say baby food, that is equals to this particular country. So like I was explaining, that is two criteria question, which means that no value will be added here until it is traced to baby food. And even if it is traced to baby food, in as much is not equals to a particular country, that value will not still be added, because right now you are working with two criteria. Now, I was trying to explain. Now, if you look at these three arguments that I mentioned, this is one argument, this is another argument, and this is another argument mentioned in that question. Now, the sum range must not receive this range. It must not receive this range. It can only receive range with numbers. That is what I was trying to explain here. I believe that is clear first. Let me be sure that this particular one is clear before I go to the next one. Please, you can unmute and respond. I want to be sure that we understand that particular argument first before I proceed.
Yes, I do.
Okay, now the criteria range one is the specification of the column or argument where your first criteria values are recorded. So if I am to go back to the data now, it means, look at the question again, summarize or analyze total profits based on baby food item type. So that is my first criteria. So which means that place that says criteria range one is going to be the selection of what? This. Remember that you must have selected here as your sum range. Now, once you add a comma, it will now bring out criteria range two. So your criteria range two is the column where the second criteria will be referenced from, which is going to be this particular column range. And then
the criteria itself, which is the selection of one of the country in this particular column. So I believe that is clear. So that is how you continue until you define the last criteria. Is that clear now? Let me also get a response before I proceed.
It is. But can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Question, please. If the question has two add up columns, as in two columns that are numbers, with this Sumifs, are we still going to use it?
Yes, you can use it, but anyone you are bringing here must be number, the first one.
So if there's another column that is add up again, what happens? Or the question is always one column that has a sum, that as in we need to sum, then the others are strings.
No, you can have multiple columns that you are summing. Actually, it depends on how the question
so
is.
After using this sum range now for the first one, I thought the next thing that will come out is criteria range 1.
Yes,
so,
yes. Now I understand what you are saying. Now the structure of this question. Okay, let me just answer. The structure of this function is that the first parameter must be number base. That is, in analysis, most time we don't sum two columns at the same time. You don't sum two columns.
Okay.
It's either you are relating one column summation against multiple string column. So it won't work except you have one number variable. Is that clear now?
It is. Then, if the question is restructured in such a way that we are asked to analyze the country based on item type and total profit, we will still have to arrange the argument.
That total profit must be the first one, because that is the one with the numbers.
It's twisted.
Did you understand that? It's like your network time that.
Yes. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Oh, we can go on. So since you're saying that it must only be one sum,
you always compare multiple string against one number.
Okay.
All right. So now let's quickly go to the question aspect. Let's see how we can relate this now. So like advisors, we should learn at some point to be documenting. Don't wait until you watch the entire video. Like this aspect that we are writing function, you can note some of the key explanation down. Now, let's go to our dashboard. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add another sheet in order to isolate all the analysis we are going to do under this multiple criteria from the one we did under single criteria. So let me just name this multiple criteria analysis. So at the end of the class, when you be given an assignment, this is how you should always follow it, so that I'll be able to differentiate what you did with the single criteria from the multiple criteria. Now, since we have already know how to design, I don't want to go into that. Let me just go straight to the answering of possible questions we can answer with the Sumifs. So our Q1, that is our first question. Our first question is I want to merge the whole of that
highlighted area for writing the function. So I'll come to this after selecting home, merge. So what is the question? What is the total profit generated where item type is baby food and country is, let me check for one of the country, and country is, so let me just automatically call it for me, and country is this, and country is this. So this is single metric analysis. That is, you are analyzing it against only one. Now, but if I want to analyze it for all, for other country, then what I'm going to do, I will copy everything here. Control, you hold down the control button and the shift, select all the values you have there, Control C, then go to your analysis sheet, click on one of the cell, or you highlight some, then press Control V. Now, I will now delete duplicates because I only want one country to represent all the number of times a transaction will perform under that country. So I don't have to repeat them. So I will highlight them, go to data tab. It's part of what we have done before. Then go to data tab. From here, you click on remove duplicate. Then confirm under which column do you have the duplicated value, and then click OK. So with this, what does it say? 25 duplicate value found and removed. At the end of the day, we have just 77 unique valid remaining, which means that we have 77 countries in that data frame. Now, I will have to double click here to expand this and then format these two cells with different background color in order to differentiate them from the values or the record. So I can just click here and choose, then bold. If possible, you increase the size a little. Now here, this is where you are outputting your results instead of outputting it against one country. So here it will be only this country that we want to find. Then here, we want to do the same for other countries so that we can identify our patterns, trend, and outliers. So I will name here total profit. Total profit. So to make it uniform, let me also use cap lock here. Now, I'll write my question, my function here equals to sum ifs. You pick it here, the one with sum ifs. Now, this is the syntax I was explaining in my slide. So my sum range, based on anytime you want to know which one is the sum range and which one is the criteria range, then always look at your question. Your question will inform you better. What is the total profit generated where item type is baby food and country is to value? That is the question. So three things I mentioned here. Country, this is what represents country. This is what represents baby item, and then of course profit. So what we are going to do, like I said, I will switch back to the data set and call the value of profit. Call the value of profit first. Call the value of profit. So like we discovered the other time, you can just select the word, the alphabet. Just click on the alphabet. So with that selection, you have automatically captured all the values that are currently in all the cells under what? Column O, and all that empty spaces. So in case they receive value, it will automate your report. Then you put a comma. The moment you have added your comma, I want you to watch here. This one is not deactivated, which means that it has received its value. Now it's shifted to the next one, which is criteria range 1. So criteria range 1 is the selection of all the range of cells where your first criteria, which is the item type, is. So our first criteria is to summarize the total profit against what? Item type. That's our first criteria. And that item type, baby food, is located in this column. So I will capture that as the criteria range 1. So I will click on the letter also so that it can also accommodate our future entry. Then you insert your comma. The moment you add comma, you will notice that it has shifted to what? Criteria 1. So the criteria 1 is already mentioned in the analysis dashboard, which is this. So you just come back here and select it. So once you put a comma, you can see that now you have criteria range 2. Criteria range 2. So that means what? We have just supplied what? The first criteria. Criteria range 2 is the selection of all the values under country. Then I have to go back to the data and capture all the value under country. So let me also use this to capture that. Then comma. Then criteria 2 is the selection of any of the country. Selection of any of the country. Now, if you look at this, I think there's a mistake there. There's a mistake. There is a mistake. Please just pardon me. Let me just take it again. We have messed it up. So let me just take it again. So the first one is this. The first one is the selection of all the values you have under total profits. Then that is our sum range. Criteria range 1 is the selection, is the baby food, which is recorded under item type. So I'll select what? This. The criteria 1 is the selection of the first baby food here, because what we listed in our dashboard are the country against total profit, which means that these particular values, they are not captured in your dashboard. That is why I have to take it again. So which means that we are applying that concept that I showed us the other time, whereby if the criteria value is not mentioned in your dashboard, you select the very first one in your data frame. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is comma, then criteria range 2. Where is your criteria 2 value is, which is what? The country. Because the question says that we are to summarize total profit based on the item type, baby food, which we have already applied, and country equals to what? To value. So now our criteria 2 is where to value is recorded in your data set, which is this. So I'll take the whole of this and then put a comma. Then the criteria 2 is the selection of the to value. But in as much we have mentioned, is that I pick it here?
All right, sorry for that. Now, I was saying something that is either I pick it here or I go back to the data set because it has already been mentioned here. So I can choose to pick it from there, but if I'm picking, I am picking the first one, or if I'm coming here, I'm also selecting that particular. So if I hit my enter now, you can see that it has analyzed, it has outputted the expected result. And what is this report saying? These are the sum, or this is the summation of all the total profits where product or where item type is equals to baby food and country is equals to value. Now, since we use that method, we can double click here and it will automatically analyze. You can see that some outputted 0 because those ones that outputted 0 did not meet the criteria. That is the simple interpretation. Any question? I need a response before I proceed.
Excuse me, this result you outputted there.
The network is so bad today. What is happening?
Is it on you?
Sorry, I didn't get part of your question. Your voice was breaking.
Result now on this total profit is based on which baby food? The first baby food that we picked.
Yes, it's based on the baby food here. Now, in this case, now all these.
Which of the baby food?
Now, let's go to the data set. Let's go to the data. We have baby food here. This is one, right? These are the baby food now. We have just one type of baby food.
Yes.
Now,
okay.
What you have said now, all these results.
So
if you understand it now, right?
I do.
Okay. So this value is baby food transaction equals to this country. Baby food profit equals to this baby food. So all this is just the analysis for baby food. Then at the end of the day, don't forget that you have to visualize it. So because like I told us before, it's not enough for you to display value like this. This is a tabular model. The constraint of using table to present your findings is that it makes it difficult for you to identify the main essence of your analysis, which is what? Identifying pattern, trend, and the correlation. So that is why after the table like this, you highlight the entire data, just like we did, then represent it with graph, because there is another sub question you are going to answer. So let me just go to more so that I can see more of the graph. So let me choose this. So you can see, so this is a graph of all this presentation. Come in, just want to take it up. So I can expand it. So this is the graph as against what you have there. So this will now enable you to know which of the country actually what generated more profit based on that baby food item type category. So you can expand it so that you can derive your insight. Remember that all these are just your technical working, which will enable you to put together your final conclusion. So from here, you can see that which one is the highest here? This is Mozambique. That is what the highest. And then if you want to draw your meaningful insight, you can actually, the graph is actually, you can see that 100%, and then It's also analyzing it with percentage and also with what? The actual value. Any question, please? Because I'm going to pause here and then we are going to do a simple classwork. You're going to answer the same question. So as usual, I will be moving from one person's screen to another before I proceed. Because once you understand this, then every other ones are very easy to understand. So if there's no question, let's quickly do it as classwork now, answering the same question. Let me bold it. Mrs. Augustina, hope is clear to you. Mrs. Augustina, if you are still here, is everything clear?
I'm here. I want to give it a try.
Okay, okay. So let everyone try. Let me unshare my screen. Let me start with Mrs. Mercy. Please share your screen. Okay, your screen is coming up now. Okay, so let me check what other people are doing. Okay. Which person's screen is this? Miss Mercy, is this your screen?
Yes,
Mrs.
it's my screen.
Okay. Your data is actually covering it, or are you okay? You just started selecting your data. Okay, I can see what you are doing. Continue.
Yes, sir.
Okay, continue. Let's use the alphabet selection method. Okay, instead of selecting the cells range, let's just use the alphabet method.
Okay, sir.
I want to believe others are doing the same. I also come to Mrs. Okafor Ngozi. I will still come to your screen now. So make sure that you are doing something. Let us be fast.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hello.
Pick out.
Sorry, which one did I supposed to pick? Is it sorry, is it profit okay, let me see the question again, sorry.
Has anybody gotten it, please? So you have understood the question now, right? So make sure that you capture your question in mind so that you know which argument to select per time. That is if I can hear you clearly. I don't know whether it is my network.
Hello, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, please, can we start afresh, please? I've just missed it up.
Okay, yeah, clear it now. Clear it. Let's go together. You'll be the one to be doing it. Clear
But
it.
I've cleared it. So the first okay, let me just start all over. Okay.
Clear it. Clear it. Let's all observe what you are doing so that I'll be sure.
Yeah, I'm just starting afresh.
Okay.
Yes, there's some range. So I'm going to Amazon sales.
Good. Be talking like that. Be talking like that so that I will know what you are.
Then I'll choose go. Okay, the then comma. So, sir, please, what is the first criteria?
No, the second, no, after selecting the range, is
Hello,
not
sir.
after the range, it's not the first criteria, is where the criteria 1 is. That is what criteria range
Yes,
1. Now, if you look at
the first criteria.
the question should guide you. The question says, what is the total? Just remember where you are. What is the total profit? Right? Per item type. Per item type, which means that your criteria range 1 is the selection of everything you have under item type.
Okay.
Have you selected that before we look at the next one?
Under item type.
Use the alphabet selection. Click on the letters.
Comma.
Don't bother highlighting the range.
Then, sir, what is the? Yes, sir.
I don't know whether
yes, I've done that.
I'm just
then criteria 1.
Have you selected criteria range 1? I don't know if my network is behind actually.
I've done that, sir.
I have not, my screen have not reflected that. Okay, so if you have done that, now your criteria 1. If you have done that, your criteria 1. Are you with me?
Okay, let me see.
Your network is either my network or your network. One of them is behind. The network is seriously breaking. Please, I think Mercy is having network issue. It's either, let me also verify from someone else. So Mercy, please just pay attention. Let me switch to someone else's screen now. See.
He wants another person. Maybe he wasn't hearing me.
Okay. Let me try.
Okay, I have Mrs. Onye share now. Let's see. I don't know whether it was my network or Mrs. Mercy's network.
Her network was stable.
Okay, I think.
Are you with me?
We are hearing you now. So Mercy,
my screen?
pay attention here. Pay attention here.
But are you seeing my screen?
Yes, I am. Go ahead. Make sure you are speaking out also what you are about to do.
So I'm picking the first sum.
Okay.
That is the sum, the alphabet, right?
Yes.
Then I'll put comma.
All right.
Then the next criteria will be what? The items, right?
Yes. That is criteria range 1.
Am I picking the alphabet?
Yes, alphabet.
Am I picking the alphabet?
Alphabet or true, please.
So the comma, right?
Comma.
Then the next one, am I picking alphabet under the country too, or I should go
No.
to the next?
No. Hold on. The point you are now is where you are to select the criteria 1 of which you have defined the range where it is. So you click on the first baby food.
Okay, after clicking the alphabet.
The range. Click on the first baby food because it's not mentioned in our dashboard. Good. Comma.
Oh.
Have you had good? Now country. Select B. Select country range. Good. Comma.
Then I should go to my analysis sheet.
Good, because
good,
exactly, because you have highlighted your country there. Now select the first one. Good. Or press enter. That is your answer. That is your answer.
It's not very clear. See,
So try it
the
again.
baby food,
Yeah.
the baby food. Why after picking the alphabet, we now picked the particular baby food.
Yes. No. It's just one baby food
that we are analyzing.
We analyze it based on the country, based on different country, based on different country. Did you get it? Miss Oye, can you hear me? We lost our network also.
Hello, Adol.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now, let me explain something. You can as well write the baby. You can as well write the baby food somewhere. So that instead of you selecting from the data, that you, as you are coming back here, you select both of them.
Okay, I can write equal to.
No, you can just list it somewhere. You can just write it somewhere. So instead of you picking the first baby food in the data set, the way you came here to select country to value, then you will have also returned here and pick it. But the reason why you pick it from the data is because it's not mentioned in this your analysis dashboard.
Okay, you are saying I can copy it the same way we did the country.
Yes, but it will make sense because it's just one. It's just one. But country, we are analyzing against all of them. That's the reason why we copied it. So what you will have done is just to mention baby food somewhere here, the way it is been, the way it was typed there, exactly the way they typed it there. Just copy one and paste it here. That is, if you don't want to pick from the data set, you can as well list it somewhere here. When it's time to pick it, you come here and pick it as well, the way you pick your country. Am I making sense?
I've copied the baby food there. I've copied the baby food. Then, do I need to close up this space?
Which of the space?
The space between the baby and food. I
No,
should leave it like that.
The way it is in the data set. That is how you
Yes, I've copied it.
Are you with me?
Yes, I've copied it. I pasted it here.
Okay, now let's say you want to answer the question again. Let's go there.
Okay. Impulse. Okay.
Yeah, pick another function. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I think you corrected yourself. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Others, please, we should replicate the same thing. Once I'm done with her, I think I will just continue. You can sit down with the video and get yourself sorted out.
Okay, should I go back to pick the baby food from there?
No, hold on. What have you picked now? It's like, okay, yeah. Just go ahead.
Thing is showing red though.
No. We are not. Your network
too few arguments.
Yes. Your network was too fast, so you have to take it gradually. It's like we were behind you. So let's go again. Okay. So I needed to be monitoring what you are doing.
Okay. So I'll go here and pick a total profit on alphabet.
Yes.
Then I'll put comma.
Wait, let's confirm first.
Then I will go
yes.
on the alphabet.
Yes, comma. After that,
I'll put comma.
Then go and
then I'll go to my analysis sheet.
Yes, and pick baby food that you pasted there.
I can't hear you again.
Go to the analysis sheet and pick the baby food you copied there.
I should go back to the and pick the baby food I pasted.
Yes, yes.
Comma. Then do I need to go and pick country under alphabet?
No, let me just watch you first. Do that first. Then comma. Now hold on.
Should I go back to the sheet?
Go back and pick country range. Go back to the data set and pick country range.
Alphabet. And I'll put comma.
Comma. Then you come back to your analysis sheet.
Then I'll come back here.
And pick the first.
Click on this.
Okay, good. Comma. Then select this, the first country here. Good. Press enter. You have missed it up somewhere. Okay, if that is not working, just depend on the one you did, the one you picked the baby from the baby food from the.
Okay.
So just work with the one that is working for you. And again, next time, please don't merge the cell where you are placing the baby food. That place you put, it's like you merge it. Once you merge it, it will give you a different configuration. Next time, don't merge it.
Though. I just copied it and left it like that. I didn't merge it.
Okay, because it looked as if you merge.
So now I will now pick the item.
Yes.
I will put comma. I'll pick baby food because that's what we're analyzing, right?
Yes.
I'll put comma again.
Then
I'll pick the country under the alphabet. I'll put comma.
Okay.
Then
comma. You go back there and pick the country. You select one of the country.
So can we auto? Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, perfect.
Is this showing all this thing? Is this showing some of your own? We are showing 0 now. Why am I getting all values?
Your how do I call it? Now, what will happen is that for us to know who is actually correct, let's see someone else's own. Leave it like this. Leave it like this. Let's check someone else's own first and know whether it's my own that is correct or your own. Mercy, wanted to say something. Mrs. Augustina, do you have any to show us just to compare with what we have done so far? Mrs. Augustina and Mrs. Augustina, I wanted to check from someone else. Let's compare someone's value with your own.
I didn't see the error.
Sorry?
I did not remove duplicates. I didn't remove duplicates on the country before I started the calculation. Yeah. I just noticed it now.
Okay. It's still giving you your value.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's giving your own is still giving your values.
Let's see your own.
There's 0 now.
Okay,
let me try.
This is which person own is this one? Mrs. Onye? Which person's screen are we here now? Is this Mrs. Onye's screen? Okay. I can't hear anybody again. Mr. Augustina, will you say something before, please?
I was saying I have the same value with her.
But she has corrected. Is it your screen we are seeing right now or our own?
No, that's not my screen.
Okay, this should be.
Did you remove duplicates?
I removed though, but I'm trying to remove again.
Because as soon as you remove now, I think she's getting the same thing with me now.
I think so.
So that was
Is it the
issue.
same with your own?
My own was the same thing
Hello.
with your first one.
I got the same figure, but how did you get the 00? Hello.
When I remove the duplicates, it's when I
Okay.
removed the duplicates that I now saw zeros. But before then, I
Okay.
didn't see any zero.
Okay. So let me
Mine, I
try and
removed
see if I can
duplicates
get
and there are no zeros.
You removed the
Okay,
duplicates.
let me try my own.
I removed duplicates and there are no zeros.
Please share your screen. Share your screen. Share your screen. Mrs. Augustina, share your screen. You may have to
Okay.
autofill again. You may have to autofill again with the first value. Mrs. Onye, please kindly unshare your screen. Let's go on there. Okay, I think you are coming on your screen now.
This is mine.
Okay, now, wait, go up. Have you removed duplicates? Are you very sure that you have removed?
Yes.
Okay, now.
I have.
Now, from the second value under total profit, delete everything. Or don't worry, click on that first one. No. Click on that 951410. Click on it. Now, autofill, double click on the dotted edge. Double click. Have you done that? Oh yeah, check.
Yes.
Check. I don't think
It's still the same thing.
wait, are we using the same data? Okay, the same data.
Yes.
Okay, now what you will do is clear everything and do it again. Let me be sure that you remove the duplicate first. Try removing the duplicate. No. Don't clear everything. Just clear only the total profits values. Don't delete everything.
Let me do everything so that I can remove duplicates again.
Delete what you have under total profits. Let's go over the formula again. Delete everything you have here. Clear everything. Good. Now, are you sure you have removed duplicates? I wanted you to just highlight and remove duplicates again. Let me be sure. Or just continue. You are getting something wrong, oh, Mrs. Augustina. You are doing a wrong thing. Please be talking. Let's hear. You have to be talking so that.
I'm trying to remove the duplicates.
No, that is not how to remove duplicates. Clear it. You shouldn't
Let
have.
me remove the duplicates.
We are removed now. Okay.
No duplicates.
Good. Oh yeah, let's go there now. Oh yeah. Compute your function. Okay, your formula. Okay. Okay. Mrs. Augustina, hold on. Which value did you select first?
Total profit range.
Okay. Yeah, continue. You have to be talking so that we know because your network is faster than our own.
Baby food. Country range.
Press enter. Okay.
I got the same thing, so I don't know.
Okay, now I want to check something. Just hold on. Or what you do for me now, just leave this particular value, just put it in the next column. Just go back. I want to change something. So let's do as if you want to replicate it in the next column. No, beside it, yes, down, 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 down. Yes. We are doing equal. This time around, the country, don't pick it from the data. Come back to this sheet and pick it from here.
Okay.
So you can see the difference now.
Okay, so the difference is depend on where you pick the country.
Yes.
So which one is correct now?
Now we are going to check. Let me check. Um, let me check. I think this one should be the correct one. This one should be the correct one. Well, let me just confirm.
Okay.
Let me just confirm something. Let me see. Hope others are working. All right, so the correct one is this one, the one you got 00. So order, please, let's follow that same. Let's follow that same format. So pick your country from which person's screen is this one?
Sorry, it's mine.
Okay, so just on share now. Any other confirmation? Time has gone fast, so it appears it's only this one we'll be able to cover tonight. So we'll look at the second. We still have by tomorrow. I will complete this and start a new topic. Is that clear? We have to stop here so that everybody can go and spend time to answer. So your assignment, like you said, your assignment is to can we write it down now? Let's write the assignment down now. I'm going to share my screen. Please, you cannot share your screen. Okay, I think you have done that.
So let's take down the assignment. Let's take down the assignments so that we can close the section. So your assignment is to, I hope you are writing. Your assignment is to summarize total costs. Summarize total costs based on sales channel. Summarize total costs based on sales channel equals to, or where.
Hello, based on what, sir?
Based on sales channel. Sales channel. Make sure you
Channel,
get
okay.
right
Okay.
before I end the section. I say you are summarizing
Okay.
total costs based on sales channel, where order priority is equals to C. Where order priority is equals to C. Is that taken? Is that taken?
Yes.
That is question 1.
Yes.
Question 2.
Ah.
I just want to give out 2 questions. If question 1 is taken, question 2 is analyze the total revenue based on sales channel. Analyze the total revenue based on sales channel, where order of priority is H. Is that taken?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So please let's try, and if I were to be you, is either you do it this night or you do it tomorrow morning first thing, so that it will not distract you. So if you're able to answer
We
those.
just shared this thing with us.
You said?
No, I said which we shared the class on time today.
The video?
Yes, sir.
I will try and share it now before I go to bed. I will share it now. All right. Good night. See you tomorrow. Please try to be in tomorrow's section. We will conclude the remaining part and then bring in a very powerful topic. Please make sure you don't miss it. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night, you guys.